Despite being mostly faithful homage to the original games, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City and its source material have some significant deviations. In today's video, we'll look at those distinctions in more detail. There are numerous distinctions, such as Albert Wesker's motivations, the state of Raccoon City, and many others. Keep an eye out for further information on the film's biggest differences from the games in Welcome to Raccoon City. Firstly, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City's timeline. Several hints throughout Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City suggest that director Johannes Roberts has decided to largely integrate the events of the first two chapters of the Resident Evil video games. The introduction of the Licker and Leon's police vest are only two instances of prominent Resident Evil 2 elements in Welcome to Raccoon City. The first Resident Evil game takes place on July 24th and 25th of 1998, and Resident Evil 2 takes place on September 29th and 30th of 1998, according to canon. However, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City takes place on September 30th, 1998, combining the timelines of the first three games for convenience. In Resident Evil 1, the infected are given a 2-month grace period to seep into Raccoon City from the Spencer Mansion. However, in Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, the city's tainted water supply is said to have converted the entire population into flesh-eating monsters in an instant. This focus on contaminated water is more akin to Resident Evil 2 and 3, which explain the spread of the T-virus as a result of infected shower water due to an incident at the water treatment plant. Though Welcome to Raccoon City has still muddled the original game's narrative to get to its action scenes faster. Next, Chris and Claire's relationship. Chris and Claire Redfield have a solid sibling relationship in the original video games, with Claire initially heading to Raccoon City to investigate Chris's absence after his telegraphed probe into Umbrella. However, the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, the film emphasizes a lack of understanding between the siblings, constructing a new history for them in which Claire abandons Chris as a youngster at Raccoon Orphanage. While this decision adds some spice to the pair's interactions throughout the film, it also dilutes Claire's reasoning for charging headfirst into a zombie horde, making her role in Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City much less engaging as a result. So, where is Barry? The absence of Barry Burton, Jill Valentine's partner and co-player in the original Resident Evil titles, is one of the most noticeable contrasts between the Resident Evil games and Welcome to Raccoon City. After becoming separated from the STARS crew, Jill performs much of her mansion campaign solo, with no mention of him in Johannes Roberts' Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. This decision is even more perplexing in light of Welcome to Raccoon City's decision to promote Richard Aiken, who appears in the first Resident Evil game as a bit part zombie fodder at best. This indicates that, at the very least, Barry may return in Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City's sequel, although there is a completely different backstory. Next, let's look at new games for 2022. First, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus. Pokemon Legends Arceus, the first open-world Pokemon game, has surely created quite a stir among fans. You'll be visiting Sinnoh in a unique quest to establish the region's first Pokédex. Set along before any of the series' previous entries, catching Pokemon will be as simple as tossing a Pokeball at them while creeping up on them in the open, resulting in an instant combat. It's the Pokemon game that we've all wished for. Next, Dying Light 2. Without a zombie game or two on the horizon, no calendar is complete, and Dying Light 2 has a strong chance of being the only zombie game you'll ever need. With the original Dying Light in 2015, Techland got off to a great start, and the sequel seeks to expand those bounds in every way. Dying Light 2 is all you could want in a gloriously apocalyptic package, and then some. With its reactive world, branching narrative, and fine-tuned combat, and radically enhanced aesthetics, our baseball bats made of barbed wire are ready and waiting for zombie blood. Now we have Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Tiny Tina's Wonderland is a fantasy-themed Borderlands spin-off that follows Tiny Tina, the titular Borderlands character, voiced by Ashley Birch. The game will be a story-driven co-op campaign for up to 4 players, but it will be set set in a high fantasy world with monsters, treasures, and even a dragon lord. Unlike previous Borderlands games, Tiny Tina, like some kind of dungeon master, sets the rules in this realm, so anticipate things to go spectacularly wrong on a daily basis. Up next, Horizon Forbidden West. Alloy is back in a sequel to 2017's Horizon Zero Dawn, and this time we'll be visiting the post-apocalyptic city of San Francisco in the United States. Horizon Forbidden West was revealed to be coming to the PS5 in a clip that aired during Sony's Future of Gaming event, and featured magnificent, bright landscapes, new gigantic machine animals, and, most intriguing, underwater sequences. When Guerrilla Games' unique universe finally releases on the next-gen platform, there will undoubtedly be more riddles to solve. Next, Gran Turismo 7. A recent video for Gran Turismo 7 revealed automobile models that were so lifelike that you could almost smell the fuel, as well as the return of ultra-nerdy customization choices. For everything from engines to decals, Gran Turismo 7 will draw themes from the entire franchise, according to PlayStation Studios' Herman Hulst, and it will be remarkable to see what a series known for its visual standards can accomplish with the PS5's capability. Now, Sonic Frontiers. The renowned Blue Hedgehog returns for a new adventure in which you will enjoy open zone independence. You'll be speeding through forested areas, desert land, and more as you battle fierce opponents on your way across the Starfall Islands. The game's first cinematic trailer, which debuted at the Game Awards 2021, showed off some of these vistas, complete with towering towers and massive waterfalls. Up next, Triangle Strategy. Triangle Strategy is the second game in the HD 2D series, and it uses the same sprite-style graphics as Octopath Traveler to bring us a new strategy RPG. Serenoa, the newly appointed lord, will command warriors on the battlefield, make major decisions that will determine the fate of the continent of Norziela, and become embroiled in a power struggle between states. Square Enix has announced that it has taken player comments into account since the demo's release earlier this year, and that the next release would include a slew of player-requested modifications. Now that we've discussed a range of differences from the games in Welcome to Raccoon City film and new games heading our way in 2022, it's now time to get into those major differences we mentioned at the start of the video, like Albert Wesker's motivations and the state of Raccoon City. Stay tuned to hear more details about these differences between the game and the film. Next on the list is Albert Wesker's motivations. Albert Wesker's betrayal, in which he leaves his star's companions for dead, is one of the most shocking turns in Resident Evil 1. However, his motivations differ significantly between Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Albert is responsible for developing stars as a failsafe against his company's malicious experiments within the Spencer Mansion. While Wesker is shown to be one of the Umbrella's senior workers in the games, Wesker is also a ruthless combatant in the game, relishing in the death of zombies and displaying no remorse when he turns on the player and their team near the climax of Resident Evil 1. In Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, on the other hand, Tom Hopper's Wesker is significantly dumbed down to make his intentions seem plausible. Wesker from Welcome to Raccoon City is basically a run-of-the-mill spy charged with gathering Umbrella secrets. However, his employer is never identified, possibly hinting at a Welcome to Raccoon City sequel. Wesker, played by Hopper, is likewise a squeamish character who refuses to murder animals, much alone zombies, a far cry from his bloodthirsty video game image. Lastly, the state of Raccoon City. In line with the above-mentioned chronology concerns, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City hastens the demise of civilization within the city's gates in order to raise the narrative stakes instantly. Raccoon City is still a vibrant metropolitan conurbation in the first two Resident Evil games, with its citizens going about their everyday lives blissfully oblivious of the illness emanating from the Spencer Mansion. For example, in Resident Evil 2, the Licker attacks Leon's police station in Raccoon City, ending in a deadly confrontation between the city's cops and the slithering beast. The STARS teams and Claire, separately, arrive in the titular city of Raccoon City to discover it in ruins and overrun with undead. In the Welcome Welcome to Raccoon City film. The tale of Welcome to Raccoon City has a tragic societal critique, with many city residents being too impoverished to escape, resulting in their infection and death. This modification to the city was presumably made to speed up Welcome to Raccoon City's plot and get the STARS team into the legendary Spencer Mansion faster, in addition to creating a gloomy portrayal of an unbalanced economy in the Resident Evil canon. There you have it, a range of major differences between the Welcome to Raccoon City film and the game Resident Evil. It's clear there are a couple of major differences between the two that people have noticed, but it still seems as though the new game is still popular. Leave us a comment down below, whether you have tried the game or not, and what you thought about it. Thanks for watching today's video.